Hello. It is time again to resume the Beastars saga of everything that went wrong in the last series that was terrible. The most terrible manga ending to ever have ended. Ever. Funny enough, I just got done watching Eureka last night. I watched the series finale of Eureka. Old show, but really good. I liked it. It's not an old show, but like early 2000s. It doesn't matter. I'm ready to continue back because this next part actually pisses me off a little bit. A lot of the parts piss me off, and this isn't the one that I hate the most, but this section, and I know that I said before, like twice in my videos, how there's 10 chapters to this. That's kind of actually wrong. So 3 of these chapters are kind of could be condensed into one video. So that's kind of what I'm going to try and do here. I'm going to try and bring it all together and make it into one, because it all kind of like melds together with one specific topic. So, and that topic is, ladies and gentlemen, the black market. So, the black market in Beastars, for those who don't know, is the place where carnivores can go and they can eat herbivore meat. And the herbivore meat is not necessarily something that is, it's not live meat. It's meat that has been confiscated somehow by carnivores, and they sell it on the black market. It's not they're stringing people up and killing them or anything like that. It's not like that. So it's kind of a big deal. So we first enter the black market in, I do believe, volume 3 is when we first enter the black market. And, oh man, where do I even start? The black market is a kind of a crazy place, you know, and like Legoshi's first instinct when he goes outside into the outside world. This is the first time we've ever seen the Legoshi and his crew go into the outside world. What's the outside world like aside from school? Well, everyone's fairly peaceful. And Legoshi's like, that's weird. Why is everyone the carnivores and herbivores seem awfully harmonious? Well, they find out at the end of that volume. So that volume where they go into town is the same volume where they come across the black market for the first time. And it is horrifying. I can't understate that. It's horrifying. There's herbivores selling their fingers for, you know, homeless herbivores selling their fingers. There's like meat strung up, like, you know, just like, would you like some of this weasel meat, or would all these things? But it does lend to this idea that the black market is a kind of a necessary evil, right? Where it's like, okay, so the carnivores in adulthood go to the black market so they can get their meat, like, consumption want out of them. So remember in the first volume, Legoshi's, like, the instinct to eat an herbivore is so intense, it manifests as a being. Like, that's crazy, right? That's something that they never do with ever again in the series, I feel like, except for Haru, where it kind of shows the herbivore side of it, where the herbivore instinct is like, run, he's gonna kill you, run. So it's crazy, right? The carnivores want to eat herbivores is exceedingly strong. It's not like a thing where it's like a choice almost. And like, you can go back and forth with the morality of saying like, no, it's carnivores are all bad, and carnivores chose to eat herbivores. They chose to do that. But the way it's framed, it's not easy thing to control. It's really not. Like in, I do believe it's volume 17, yeah, where they drink the Kopi Luwak coffee and they get like supercharged with like the want to consume meat. It is terribly like vicious in a way where, I mean, it's not something that's just like a thing that carnivores do just to do it. They do it for a specific reason. It's instinctual for them. And the fact that there's a black market where they can just get meat, right? And satiate that hunger so that in the real world they can function alongside herbivores, right? Kind of like Bill does. So Bill, in the later volumes, it's shown that he's still keeping up eating meat, but he says he does it for his herbivore members so that he doesn't eat anyone alive, right? Because again, all the black market meat is it's dead. So it's like, okay, that's really messed up, right? The messed up world of Beastars continues to go on and on. But because it's such a big thing, because herbivores and carnivores, the struggle between herbivores and carnivores are so strong in this series, you would think that the end of Beastars would come to some kind of conclusion, some kind of better way. No! I said no! In fact, it gets worse. They destroy the black market. So, in Melon's riot in the last book, they're all rioting, and the herbivores kind of... So basically what happens is that the riot breaks a hole in a wall, and the herbivores kind of wander into the black market, and they're like, oh, when you see this little turkey kid, and he sees a bunch of turkeys that are like, we specialize in turkey meat, and then the carnivores come through, and they destroy it, right? And they're just like, oh gosh, what the hell, what's going on? Carnivores! And then there's this part where this, I'm gonna read this part right here, so as kind of a validation or something. But this cat is talking to this turkey kid, right? This turkey kid sees the we sell roasted turkey and everything, and the cat says, "This isn't right. We can't let herbivores into the black market. This is insane. It's true. We carnivores eat meat, but that doesn't mean we want to hurt herbivores." Perfectly reasonable, right? Like I just said, they do it almost to not kill herbivores, like unconsciously, right? Like Riz did to Tem, right? Like if Riz had been eating black market meat, he probably would not have killed Tem because he was just going off the rock. So I mean, again, we can argue that like maybe Riz had some other mental issues going on, but the entire idea of eating black market meat is to satiate that instinctual hunger so that they can go out their everyday life. And then he says, "You probably don't believe me. I can see why you think I'm lying, but it's true." And then the more carnivores come together and they start destroying the black market. And it's like, and another herbivore, this fox-looking dude, comes along. He's like, "You're right. We can't let herbivores see the black market. Come on, everyone. Pick up sticks and stones around you. Let's destroy the black market. It doesn't matter if you're an herbivore or a carnivore. Let's destroy it together." And the turkey kid picks up a piece of metal, and they start destroying the whole thing. And there's this, shot of them all hooping and hollering as they're destroying the black market and everything. And this is a happy moment, but it doesn't solve shit. So everything in the black market is just going to just destroy, to destroy the black market is to damn so many herbivores. Like the first time I read this, my first thought was, wait a minute, if there's not a black market holding, satiating their instincts, then what's going to happen? Because, I feel like the carnivores are just going to go off. They're just going to be uncontrollable. Because, again, it's not a thing where they're just, they're serial killers that choose to do these things. Carnivores have an instinctual want to eat herbivores. Like I said, it's so strong, it manifests as its own being. At least what we see Legoshi in the first volume. It's just crazy. And then, so, my first part there was, all the black market and everything. And then, let's see. Everyone is supposed to be forgotten. The concept changed. Fish meat is what they're supposed to eat now. Blah, 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 blah. So basically, kind of the conclusion to this, in a way, is that they're supposed to eat fish meat now. And I don't understand. So the one huge thing in this whole volume that instantly made me mad was that the Happy Meat Day and the carnivores eating herbivores controversy, like moral gray area in this series is summed up in a couple pages. I'm not even serious. The 22 volumes, and the main thing that is driving the series, aside from Legoshi's romance with Haru, which does coincide with the carnivores eat herbivores thing, is summed up in a couple fucking pages. And I'm going to read them to you because they're literally that small. So, Yahya has a relationship with the whale that apparently stopped the carnivore-herbivore world war back in the day, right? And we don't know exactly what he said. It would have been nice to know what he said. But, anyways, we start with, after all of this, after the whole thing, and like she's saying goodbye to Saigon, his seal friend, and all this, we get this slap cut to Yahya holding sausage meat, and he says, "What is this?" The whale says, "Fish sausage, a gift from the sea to the land." And Yahya is just like, "Whoa, fish meat?" The whale says, "Even the sea dwellers are talking about the riot 2 months ago. You handled it well. I was only in a supporting role. Is this edible? Did you have a difficult time?" Well, in the end, I got bitten in the neck. Yahya is referring to the bite that Melon gave him. Melon, gets a small shot of Melon here, which, again, I'll talk about this later. Then it says, then Yahya says, "The black market has been torn down. The government is even trying to abolish the word meat itself." Again, bad idea? Just ignoring it? Just sweeping it under the rug? Yahya says, I guess my guess is eventually the black market will come back in some other guise. What's with this wrapping paper? And yeah, he's right. He's absolutely fucking right. It's going to come back because they need it. And he's trying to peel off the wrapper on the sausage. And the whale says, "In that case, land carnivores may eat fish meat from now on." And Yahya is like, "What?" The whale continues, "You know how the sea views the cycle of life. Fish are born of countless eggs. We live in beauty and take neither life nor death seriously." Yahya says, "Is that the wisdom you've been refusing to pass on all this time?" "Yes. And now I'm telling you we're willing to export fish meat to the land." And there's another nice shot here. So that whole part that I just read to you, what is your first thought that comes to mind when you hear those words in regards to the whole situation that Beastars has been pushing about carnivores and herbivores? I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that even if somebody was okay with you eating them, it's not okay. So I said this in my first video, and I'm going to bring it up again. I don't give a shit. This part reminds me of an actual not serial killer, but an actual murder case where I think it was a German guy, and he put an ad out saying, like, "I'm a cannibal, I want to eat somebody, and if you want to be eaten, I'm your guy." And he got a response. A guy came. I guess they were both gay in a way. So they did the tango a little bit. And then the dude, and I can't remember his name for the life of me. You good true crime enthusiasts out there like myself, you'll know who I'm talking about without me even saying it. But the guy tranquilizes the guy who answered the ad and eats him alive. I don't know about you, but that's horrible. Like, that is terrible. I don't care who you are. If you say, "No, I want to get eaten. I want to give myself to you for you to eat," it doesn't make it right. Okay, that does not make it right in any way. I would rather have, if my friend was a cannibal and they were just like, hey, I'm a cannibal, I didn't mean to tell you this, but I'm actually a cannibal. I would be like, okay, dude, what the fuck? That's kind of weird. Do you eat people or do you kill them to eat them? And the person was like, well, actually, I just take bodies from the cemetery and I eat those ones. I didn't kill anybody. My response to that would probably be like, okay, we need to get you some mental health, but that's okay. If they replied, I killed some people to get the meat, then I would be like, you're a disgusting human being. You need to go. Because I would rather anything that you eat dead people. That's just a crazy thing to say on YouTube. But like, I would, like, you see what I mean, right? Instead of being like, no, I'm just going to give myself over to you so you can eat us. Like, how is that different? How is eating fish meat just because they view the cycle of life differently? How is that okay? But eating the dead corpses of herbivores that have passed on through natural causes or sickness, eating that meat is different. Like, how is that different? And again, Yahya hints that maybe this is what the marine animals were saying the whole time, which my question is, it can't be, because they're not eating fish when we get to this point in time, right? Like, when Jack was talking about the history lesson about the big whale coming up and, making the whole war stop and everything, he was, like, they were saying, okay, the war stopped, but they're still, when we get to this point in the timeline, they're still eating herbivores on the black market. So it couldn't have been the marine animals' lessons, because, or else we wouldn't be here, right? Like, we wouldn't be here? I don't know. And then we get for the last thing too, also, so, right or wrong, okay, we have a solution. Right? Again, to me, the whole fish meat thing doesn't take away the whole moral gray area that is Beastars. Like, this entire freaking series is almost based on a moral gray area, where a moral dilemma is what it's called. And I love me some moral dilemmas. Give me a moral dilemma any fucking day of the week, bro. But they didn't fix the moral dilemma. Like, but anyways, it doesn't matter. So, okay. So we have fish now, right? Okay, that doesn't solve the moral dilemma again. Like, again, Legoshi's friend Sagwan is a sea animal. The noodle, the fish that Legoshi brought noodles to in volume 12, that creature's just gonna die now. They speak their own language. They have morals. They have honor. They have codes. They have civilization. Just because you have a different... Like, I just don't... So, we have this whole thing, is that right? And it's like, okay, so maybe... Okay, so fish doesn't solve the moral gray area of the moral dilemma, right? Okay, whatever. Even so, we still have a solution. We have somewhat of a solution, right? And then Yahya rejects the fish meat. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. So, Yahya's response to this is, I appreciate the offer, referring to the fish meat, but no thanks. Trade leads to conflict. If we were to anger the sea, the land would be finished. We prefer that our vast expanse of ocean remain isolated. Besides, the wrapping on this fish meat sausage is too hard to open. And the whale says the land has matured. The future looks bright. And then the whale says, the wrapper tears open when you peel off the red tape. And Yahya says, I learned so much from our greetings. And that is the last we see of Yahya or the whale in the whole series. And that's the end of the series for Yahya. Like, so not only does the solution not fix the moral dilemma of the series, but also the solution is rejected, because this would be a good solution, right? Be like anything else, right? To like, again, satiate the instincts of carnivores, that would work. But no, it's rejected. And again, it's kind of being coy with it, where Yahya's like, I appreciate the offer, but no thanks. We don't want to trade with the sea, because, the sea, if we were to anger the sea, we'd get mad at us and kill us all. And then the whale is just like, oh no, son, it's that you're matured now. Does that mean that they're going to import with the sea or not? Because as far as I'm concerned, volume 22 of this series ends, the Beastars as a series ends right back where we fucking started. It ends right back where we fucking start. Like, what is the difference here? What is the fucking difference here? And this is the part that I want to get into the next part here. So before all this stuff happens with the thing, we kind of the whale part, we cut back to let's cut back to, so when the herbivores and the carnivores are destroying the black market, Legoshi and Melon are fighting. And this is another part that I wanted to bring up, that Melon is right. So we smash cut to Legoshi and Melon fighting. And they're fighting, blah, 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 blah. It's for the turf war, blah, blah, blah. And then Louis comes up to Legoshi, and everyone's kind of watching this whole fight, right? Melon says, the audience has grown. Let's give them a good show and kill each other. And Louis says, we're not here to kill each other. We're here to fight a turf war. All the audience is watching, and Melon's, in regards to Louis, Melon's like, who the hell are you? And Legoshi says, Louis. And Louis says, can you stand? Sorry I'm late. Look around you. Carnivores and herbivores are standing side by side. This is no longer the black market of yesterday. Doesn't fucking matter. Or carnivore instincts are still there. Louis, you big dumbass. So then the next part, we get this like triumphant picture here of Louis and Legoshi standing together, right? And Louis says, together we've changed the black market. Changed it how? You destroyed the son of a bitch. You didn't change it, you destroyed it. So, to me, this series could have been the best ending if all the herbivores saw the black market and then the carnivores wanted to take it down because they're like, no, we can't be letting herbivores see who we really are. And if the herbivores all, maybe because of Louis' press conference, right, where Louis admitted that like, hey, carnivores eating herbivores is natural for them. Like, maybe because of Louis' conference, right, herbivores kind of wake up to this idea, and instead we can have this part where the carnivores are trying to tear the black market down and the herbivores stop them, right? This would have been such a better ending. And the herbivores saying, we realize now that, like, you eat meat, you eat us, we're prey, you're predators, and this is the way it's always going to be. Don't destroy the black market, let's keep it, let's accept the black market, which, again, is horrible, right? You know, still eating the herbivores, but what other option is there? Right? They're like, what other option is there? We're not just going to accept all of this and all come together. And that's what this ending implies. This ending is literally the cheesiest fucking ending to a series I've ever seen. So, yeah, they continue on. And Melon gets to the exact point that I'm talking about here. So, you know, blah, blah, blah. That is, if there's a single moment when the world changes, Legoshi says, come on, let's settle this duel, Melon. And let's see. So it cuts to the next chapter, and we're still in the battle. Melon and Legoshi and Louis are standing in the middle of this crowd. Melon says, you think carnivores and herbivores are going to become best friends from this day on? That you've eradicated the black market overnight, and all the carnivores will honor their vow never to eat meat again? Everything's solved? Are you serious? You think it's that simple? He's right? Like, what? Are you serious? So, literally, Melon being the Joker over here, being like, why so serious? Then he continues saying, let's all have a happy picnic together. Bears, tigers, birds, rabbits, everyone gather round. Wait, does the ground smell kind of funny? Yeah, that's because this is the former site of the black market. Oh, I see. So that's what blood smells like. He's doing basically a sarcastic, summary of what's going to happen in the future, because this is definitely going to happen. And Melon's stretching out on the ground because he's that much of he's a show pony. Um, but Melon says, "This is the scent of all the herbivore blood, sweat, and tears that soaked the earth in the old days. Smells are so hard to erase. Hey, all that happened a long time ago. Let's let bygones be bygones. We get along so well now. A toast to us with juice." Is that the kind of corny conversation you expect to be hearing soon? He's right. Exactly fucking on the dot, right? Like, what? What? Well, seriously, Legoshi. What the fuck? Are you seriously thinking that all the carnivores and herbivores? What the hell? Like, carnivores respecting herbivores? If carnivores would come out and admit that they eat meat, like Louis was trying to get them to do, right? Like Louis was trying to say, like, carnivores eating meat is natural. If carnivores came out and said, yes, we do eat black market meat, but we do it to protect the living herbivores around us. We eat dead herbivores to save the live herbivores around us, our friends, our family herbivores, right? I don't think that's such a bad, compromise. And then all the herbivores could realize that the carnivores really do love and respect them to do that, and all these things, right? And no, of course not. So during this whole situation, after Melon gets done with the, is that the kind of corny conversation you expect to be hearing soon? Legoshi says, "You're such an idiot." And Melon says, "Excuse me?" And Legoshi says, "You've never had a regular conversation with anyone, have you? You're trying to imagine how friends talk to each other, and you're doing a terrible job at it." What terrible job is he talking about? He's talking pretty fucking normally, I think. I think Melon's just doing a fucking fine job of saying what's going to happen in the future, because it's going to happen. And Legoshi says, "Soon, the black market will be razed to the ground. The carnivores and herbivores if carnivores and herbivores come here together, you're right. They might notice an odd smell and talk about the past. They'll struggle to find the right words. They'll argue. But in the end, they'll focus on the present, not the lingering scent of the past." Legoshi smiles at Melon. "They'll talk so much the smell will fade into the background. Maybe you're right. The world won't change overnight. But if carnivores and herbivores keep the lines of communication open, someday you and I..." And that's where Melon takes out a gun and is ready to... This is literally Legoshi saying, "And we'll all sing Kumbaya and we'll all be okay." Like, I am so fucking mad. Because what does this solve? Boink. What does this solve? Exactly? This solves nothing. That's what it solves. Solves nothing. I'm so mad that, that's what we get from Legoshi. Because, yes, I absolutely agree. If you want to go with Legoshi's perspective on this, go take the high road of being like, I'm better than everybody. I would never eat herbivores. I can't. That's fine. But for the beasts like Riz, for the beasts like Bill, that use, Riz doesn't use the black market, but again, I think that could have saved Tem. Tem wouldn't have to have died if Riz ate meat. But, if Bill's a person that eats black market meat to save the herbivore members around him because he loves them and they're his friends, so he doesn't want to eat them. You're literally just saying, this ending is literally saying, carnivores and herbivores have their differences, but if we just, acted more like me, like a high and mighty deuce, then, we can all come together in the end. I hate to be making fun of Legoshi here, but this is so fucking cheesy and honestly ignorant of Legoshi. Legoshi is a guy that has been the whole time, like, I won't even kiss Haru because it's too dangerous. And yet he wants to be with her, continues to try and be with her. I feel like the only way that the black market being destroyed works in this scenario is literally if herbivores and carnivores are segregated. which proves in Cherryton Academy, it proves not to work, because once the herbivores and the carnivores kind of keep each other balanced, right? Like the carnivores are more reserved when herbivores are around, right? But like once they're segregated in Cherryton Academy or whatever, there's like scratches on the walls. They're openly talking about black market meat. They're like, right? So it's like they're trying to keep, like, how does this work? How does this work at all? Like, that, it's just crazy to me that this was the ending that we got, because it solves nothing. Like, and I hate to bring this back to the actual writer, but it just really makes me wonder, Paru Itagaki, the writer of Beastars, how did she not... She made this whole complex series, which again, it's my favorite manga for a reason. It has a really great storyline, and like the black market is one of my favorite parts, because it is such a moral dilemma. It's such a hard cut moral dilemma where it's like, yeah, the carnivores eat the meat from the black market, but when Legoshi goes to visit the black market to see Yahya, when he's sitting on the bench and he sees like one of the carnivores trip, and a bunch of the carnivores come over and they brush them, and he's like, "Are you okay? Are you fine?" And Free notices this too, one of the Shishigumi members. He's just like, the black market's changed. Like, I dropped some change the other day and another beast came over and he grabbed it and held it up to me. He's like, "You dropped this." And he reminisces how when he was a cub, if you dropped any money, it was gone before you could even see who took it. Like, the black market was just a gang, like, basically, right? It was a slum. It was this terrible thing. But now it's, like, evolved. And I don't think that's because herbivores and carnivores have gotten to know each other better, because, again, nothing has changed in the last couple of years that the black market's been alive. I think that it's just carnivores have gotten calmer because the black market is there. It provides meat for them, right? So we have this whole idea going that not only is the black market essential to keeping herbivores safe, but it's also the people who shop at the black market aren't monsters. They aren't terrible people who are just like, "I'm eating herbivore meat because I want to." They're doing it to preserve their friendship with their herbivore friends. Like, they're doing it to, like, it's for a reason, because again, their instincts to eat things are so bad. Like with the lion and rabbit relationship that we have in there, the lion sorry, I apologize. The lion and the rabbit relationship in there, the lion literally, he didn't want to hurt her, but like she was literally like trying to kiss him and everything like that. And she's just like, "Come here, you. I want you to kiss me really hard and everything like that. And I wanted to get down and dirty." And he's just like, "I want to be, I just want to be careful with you and everything." And she's just basically kind of like forcing him on her, right? Where she's just like, "Kiss me, you dumbass." And then it ends up with her getting mauled. And it's like, okay, and yes, we do get a somewhat, I do understand, I've seen Beast Complex, I know that we do get a kind of resolution to that story, but it also fixes nothing in that story, because it still doesn't fix the initial incident. He didn't maul her because he didn't like her. He didn't maul her because he wanted her money. He didn't maul her because he's like, "No, I hate herbivores. I like scratching them and clawing them." He did it because it's his instinct. His instinct isn't to get down and groovy and mate with herbivores and be friends with them. His instinct is to eat them. Like, this whole thing. And again, just taking down the black market is so bad in this situation. Sorry, I'm yawning again. It's like 1 a.m, sorry. Melon says, "You're doing a terrible job too, Legoshi." It kind of just bypasses everything that Legoshi just said, so it doesn't matter. Like, Melon being shot just kind of interrupts that whole dialogue, which again is probably for the best, because if Legoshi kept rambling on his mouth about this whole kumbaya, we're all gonna get along together, herbivores and carnivores, we're just gonna get along, it's not going to work. So Legoshi literally, one of the things that I wrote in my notes here is, you want to know the ending to Beastars? My YouTube audience, you want to know the ending to Beastars? The ending to Beastars is literally, love conquers all. I'm not even joking. The love conquers all is the ending to Beastars. It's the end to the whole moral dilemma of carnivores and herbivores getting along. It's the whole fucking thing. That's what it is. That's the ending to it, is love conquers all. You can't beat the bounds of love, and no matter what happens, we'll all love each other. If we all love and respect each other, we're all gonna get along just fine. And that's fucking wrong. Yeah, it's just terrible. And so at the end of it, there's one last part here. My video's already getting over long, but the last point here too is that Legoshi and Haru's relationship kind of accentuates my point. It kind of proves my point here, because Legoshi and Haru are continuing to go around in circles with their relationship, and the words that Haru speaks are the exact reason why carnivores and herbivores, it's so hard to get along with both of them. So Haru proposes to Legoshi, and then she says, will you marry me and then divorce me? And Legoshi's like, what, why? And she says, so out of the train station, Legoshi says, wait, Haru, wait, what do you mean? Exactly what I said. I want to get married and then divorced right away. But why do you want to get divorced? Because I don't want to get complacent. Because you're better than me in every way. Love is a game. To win, you need to be unpredictable to keep your lover on their toes. You're so confident and gentle and strong. You're pretty much perfect. If I let myself be happy with you now, you'll win. I'll be no different from any other rabbit defeated by wolves since ancient times. I don't want to be like them. So this is just a whole nother freaking thing that Haru's bringing up that is so true too. And this is more to their relationship point, but Haru's always going to be a rabbit and Legoshi's always going to be a wolf. And this is Haru's own thing that she's talking about here, right? That she talked about with Louie, where she was like, I'm just a rabbit, and Legoshi's a wolf, and that's not how we're supposed to be and get along. And again, that's the nuance of their relationship. That's what makes Legoshi and Haru's relationship so great, is that they're total opposites, right? Two completely different worlds, but again, Legoshi, love just does not conquer all of these problems. Eventually, Legoshi's going to want to eat meat. And if he doesn't, he's the rare case. And I hate to say it, but, the idea that an herbivore loving a carnivore is what's going to solve everything is just ridiculous. Because it's just, again, it's an instinct for them. So maybe Legoshi doesn't have those instincts anymore. I don't know what happened. What happened between this volume and the first volume that was so different in the instinct category? Legoshi's become more integrated with herbivores. He has more herbivore friends. He and Haru are having, an actual relationship. They date. They spend nights together. Legoshi's only gotten closer to Louie too, his best friend. And all these things. And I do understand that him getting more comfortable with herbivores is probably making him more comfortable around them. But Legoshi also has been with herbivores his whole life too. It's not like carnivores are raised in carnivore neighborhoods and herbivores are raised in herbivore neighborhoods. Legoshi grew up around herbivores. It's not like the lack of just integration is the point here where it's going to solve anything. So Haru continues saying, I love you, Legoshi. I want to be on equal footing with you. I want you to chase me forever. Legoshi says in his head, this is the Haru I love so much, the Haru who goes all out to be her authentic rabbit self. Legoshi says, what kind of marriage proposal is this? Haru says, I love you, so say yes. Beautiful illustrations here again, but it doesn't help it just does not help anything. It doesn't help anything. It doesn't solve anything. I love the illustrations. I love the fucking all the beautiful. It's only gotten better as the series goes on, but it just can't help when this series is just so terrible ending. The ending is just so terrible. So Legoshi says, I think there's a couple more parts in here that I wanted to kind of highlight, but so I'll just kind of keep going with this. Legoshi says, Haru, look at my tail. I can't accept your proposal. I'll wag my tail when you're mad at me and when you cry. But how can we marry when we're so different? You're a wolf. We're a wolf and a rabbit, a male and a female. It's so hard to understand each other. But still, my tail will keep wagging because I want to be as close to you as I can be. So I want us to continue our interspecies relationship for the rest of our lives. Which, again, is a beautiful sentiment, but it doesn't... It's, again, this is not like... let's just put it into real world terms. Oops. This is not like a mixed race marriage, right? Like, right, where like it's a black man and a white woman, right? Or a black person and a white person, let's just say, getting together. This isn't like that. This is way different. This is not like, oh yeah, we're from two different worlds and we're from two different species, but we can make it work because we love each other. Like, that's not the ending I was hoping for, because honestly, I know Legoshi would never hurt Haru, but again, how does he know that? How does no, this is just not the ending that I wanted, because it doesn't solve any problem. I already knew that Legoshi and Haru were going to get together and they were going to be together. And it's just kind of crazy to me, because I don't see any of this helping their relationship. I think that Haru and Legoshi are going to do just fine, but what about other interspecies couples, other interspecies couples that trying to make it work and they just can't make it work because they're two different species, and there's going to be mauling events, there's going to be all these things, like, I can't. We get this end sequence here, right, where, Haru and Legoshi are together, and it's showing the progress of all the rest of the characters, right, where they're all at afterwards. Very sweet, again, for the last series, the last part of the series. But then Haru and Legoshi hug, and again, here we go again. This is just proving my point in a way, where it's like, Haru... and she says, I'm going to fall, hold on to me, and Legoshi hugs her, and she says, my bones are breaking, my bones are going to break, be more gentle. See, if I climb up on you like I just did, you won't need to crouch down anymore. I win. Ow, your claws hurt. And Legoshi says, I'm sorry. And the bird, these two cops over here, he's like, is that a carnivore going to trick? Hey, you, the wolf over there, let her go. And Haru says, it's okay, we're together. And again, amazing sentiment. Very great. Very spectacular. Spectacular sentiment for them, but not for anybody else, really. Like, this isn't just gonna go away. Like, the want to eat herbivores isn't just gonna go away just because you love herbivores as much. Like, Legoshi already kind of is a unique beast in the way that he's kind of obsessed with herbivores, right? He's just like, I don't like carnivores. Carnivores freak me out. Like, he already kind of hates his own kind, right? Juno said this before in one of the earlier volumes, where she's like, why do you hate your own kind? And he's just like, oh, well, I don't, but he actually does. Like, Legoshi actually he's just an herbivore lover, and not all carnivores are like that. Like, we've seen Bill mature, right? Like, Bill was one that was, when they first came across the black market, he was the one that was immediately like, no, I'm totally gonna get this meat. But he has matured to like, to enjoy the company of herbivores. Els is like his good friend, but I just don't see there being any good ending to this. Like, where's the actual ending that solves the problems. There is none. And like Melon said, it's just going to, after a couple of years have passed, unless they did take the fish meat thing, which again, I don't even know if that's going to 100% work. We never know. There's no part in it. It just solves the relationship drama parts, but it never talks about where society went afterwards, where it's like, where did society go? Did Yahya take the fish meat deal or not? And if he did that solve the conflict, the social conflict? Does it? I just want to know. Like, there's no resolution here. There's no resolution. It's a resolution to the relationship drama stuff, but it's no resolution to the actual thing that intrigued me from the start of the series, which was the world building. The world building in Beastars is so amazing and complex, and again, such a big moral dilemma. And it's just thrown away for a couple pages, and it seems, I feel like Beastars did become so much more of a relationship driven manga than a actual like story world building thing. And that really sucks. It has hints of like it in there, but just like the part where Melon cuts Legoshi off and says like, and he's holding the gun, I feel like it's made up of moments where it's like, oh yeah, we're addressing the meat carnivore thing, but then it'll shoot itself directly in the foot, being just like, oh no, actually we're just gonna push past that moral dilemma part and get into fighting. Like, that's what I feel like, because every time I feel like it peaked with Riz like with Legoshi defeating Riz. It peaked right there. The actual story conflict of Beastars peaked right there, because that was the part where Legoshi was like, okay, well, you know, maybe we should pay more attention to our students. You know, Legoshi and Louis had this thing where Legoshi ate Louis's leg to get out of defeat Riz, the whole thing. But I just don't see, after that, with Melon and everything, it very much more focused on the relationships of the characters and these big dramatic beats that don't really add up to a general whole of the story. Which really sucks, because Melon, again, is one of my favorite characters of Beastars, but I just really don't know where else to go from there in regards to the series, because there's so much that just goes unexplained where they went. Like, what happened at the end of it. It's just, and again, the beast complex thing doesn't add a whole lot. Again, it's made of moments where it's like, herbivores and carnivores have this complex moral dilemma type society, but we're not going to get into it. That's what it feels like, where it's like, yeah, we have this complex thing, and herbivores and carnivores eat each other and kill each other and taxidermy each other, like in one of the beast complex things, all these moral dilemmas, but we're not going to get into it. We're actually not going to get into it. There's a part in one of the beast complexes where it's a tiger and a sheep, the tiger girl and the sheep girl, and the sheep is a chiropractor, and it's this whole thing where the female tiger it's almost like a sexually charged thing, it seems like, where the tiger likes to be put down by this sheep girl, and which is all great and all, but again, it made the whole time reading that story, I didn't care that it was a thing where it's like, ooh, the sheep girl's putting this woman tiger in her place. She's bending her over, and you know, she's doing all these things. Like, it's kind of actually very sexually charged, but my whole thing was like, okay, but where do we go psychologically there? Like, what does that do for this tiger? Does she want to eat this sheep because this, you know, or does she have a fetish with it? Or I want to know about the actual, like, how does that affect the world building? But it doesn't ever go into that. It's just like, oh, this is a quirky relationship between a sheep and a tiger, la la, and it's just like, I don't know. The best part in one of the beast complex is the first beast complex. I think did a better job of summing up the whole moral dilemma in the way, because in one of them I think it's the gazelle or the goat and the saltwater crocodile or something like that, and they're on a cooking show together, and he's her new co-host, the saltwater crocodile, and he's just like, oh no, I want to create food that tastes like meat, and she's just like, that's disgusting, you're terrible, like how could you on a show, live show, talk about like wanting to eat meat? And he's just like, oh well, is it good or is it not? I'm a chef, I'm cooking, I'm trying to make things better for tasting like meat for my carnivore people that are watching the show. And the end of that small short is the gazelle girl tasting some of the basically faux, the fake meat product that the saltwater crocodile made. And she's just like, this is really good. I like this. And he's just like, it's pretty good, huh? You taste pretty good. But like, it comes with them coming together and actually having like okay, I see why you want to eat this, and I see why you want to provide this for other carnivores, you know? They come to an understanding. In the end of Beastars, the actual series, there's no ending here. There's just Black Market was taken down, and love conquers all. If you love each other, you won't eat each other. And yet, in the beginning of the first fucking volume of Beastars, Legoshi nearly eats Haru. Like, what would have happened if the Shishigumi didn't, like, I don't know. There's so many things, and that's just it. This video's already 50 minutes long, so I'm gonna cut it out here, or else I will never get it uploaded. But Jesus Christ, it kind of deserves 40 minutes because it's a whole big thing, and there's no part of it that makes me want to be like, wow, this is a great ending. This is a terrible ending. Nothing was ever resolved. I feel like we're back to volume 1. It's volume 22, and I feel like we're back to volume 1. But anyways, that has been the Dragon's Tongue. This is my 4th, I believe, video on the Beastars saga, so I hope you enjoyed. Watch my